Hello friends, Nima here. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm bringing a very simple project just in time for Valentine's Day. I have two designs. I have one that has a little flap, and the idea is that you give this box anyone you want, and you put inside your candies. Now this one has the flap, and this one that again, very simple. I'm removing the ribbon just to open it. It's made with a very similar pattern. The only thing, it's not gonna have the flap, so I'm gonna show you how to make this one's in here. And I'm going to show you my template. So the first template that I have in here, and let's see if I can just zoom in so you can see it very well. And if you want to take a screenshot, you can do it in here while I explain what we have in here. First, this is a regular paper, 8.5 by 11 folded. So this is half of the paper. And in this case in here, we have a box that is gonna be 3 inches by 3.5. 1 inch is gonna be the flap on the top, and then 1 inch is gonna form the bottom, and the sides, they measure 1 inch, but they're gonna be folded in here. So all the measurements are in here, and this is where the glue is going. So let me just keep it in here if you want to take a screenshot. Now then, let me flip the other side, because I have in here the template for the other box, for this one in here. Like it said, the measurements are the same. The only difference is that we're not going to have the flap, so we're extending that box all the way to the top. Go back in here so you can see the entire template in here. Right, so if you print out this, you get the two of them in once. And again, this is a regular piece of paper, 8.5 by 11. I already cut up my paper, so I'm going to show you. And I have a template in here, already cut in here. I'm going to show you how to make this one in here. So let's assume that I have my templates. I know where my marks are going, and I'm going to mark in here, or I can measure, man. I can measure everything. Let's see. Maybe I'll do it that way. That's another way to do it. If you don't want to print out the template, and if you just want to go with the measurements, so we have the first measurement in here. It's going to be 1/2 inch for the first fold, and another 1/2 for the second one. And then you have 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch on this side. And then you're going to have another mark on 3 inches, that will be 3.5, and then another 1/2 inch in here, and 5.5. Oops, that's 5 and 5.5, and then this is the last one in here. So if you make the marks on the bottom, and you connect the dots, then you're gonna have something like this. Like I said, I already have my my paper pre-cut in here. So let's connect, make all those marks in here, and I'm gonna go and make my marks a little darker in here so we can see them very well. And then this will be 4.5, 5, 5.5, and that's 3 inches from here. And again, I'm gonna do all those marks. Half, 4.5. Oops, this is 4.5. 5 and 5.5. So I'm gonna trace a line connecting those points in there. And if you have any tool that allows you to make those marks, like a score tool, then you can do those marks using your scoring tool. I'm gonna do it this way, just because not everybody has all those tools. And in this project in here, we only need paper, scissors, and glue. Okay? If I'm making this template in here, then I have to trace a line on the top 1 inch and another one on the bottom. So that's gonna be my next measurement in here. We have 1 inch in here, and this is, let me just move it to a solid arc, and then another inch. And I like to make the marks on both sides, because when I trace my line, I get a straight line. I'm using a T-square. I can always use this in here. Okay. But if you want a straight line, you just have to put 2 dots, and the line will be straight if you connect those 2 dots. All right. Now, for this design in here, in my template, everything that is colored in black is things that you have to cut. So I'm gonna cut this part in here, this part in here, this part in here, and I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna cut this part in here, and I'm gonna show you later on how you're gonna make all these little cuts in here. So let's just start with that. And if you have any tool that help you to cut, much better. I just want to show you how easy this is to do, even if you don't have any fancy tool. So let's get rid of this one in here. Now you're gonna fold all those lines, and I have a simple method that it makes it easier to fold those lines, because if you're using any paper that it is like a cardstock or something that is really thick, it might be a little hard to fold those lines. So one trick that I like to use is to use any of these tools, but if you don't have these tools to trace those lines, you can just get a plastic knife, and don't use the part that it has the little teeth, because then you're gonna break it. Just use the opposite side. And with that, you're gonna make an indentation in there, and it's gonna make it really, really easy to fold, right? And I'm using this board bottom that it is, it's just those project boards, and again, I'm using it because it's a lot softer than doing it on my table. And if you don't have a board like this, you can just get a piece of, I don't know, a few pieces of paper or cardboard, or if you have a cutting mat, something soft that when you press this knife in there, it creates the indentation. And it doesn't need to be hard, but you see how the card is getting those indentations in there. And we're gonna use that to fold those lines. And I'm gonna fold on the opposite, so my lines, they get hidden. Right, and I'm gonna do the same on the top and the bottom. Still have to do some more cuts in here, but that will help me because I know that I cannot pass those lines. All right, so let's do those cuts on the bottom. This is gonna fold up, but we need to make some trims in here. Like in this one in here, we're gonna cut this one, keep this one together, all right? And we're gonna cut this one in here. And we're gonna cut this one in here. I always like to make snip a little bit on this flaps in here, the side ones. And that way they don't stick out. And I'm doing like a very, very, very small triangle. You can see in there that I'm just removing a very little part in here, right? Now you can take your pens and decorate the box, or you can use any paper and then cut this in here. And we know already that these two, those are the only ones that you need to decorate. They're gonna be 3 by 3.5. So I'm gonna measure this in here. Let's see, I'm gonna do 3.5, 3.5 on the dots in here. Right. Get rid of that part in there. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's handmade. Three and 6. And this is, whoops, my design is gonna be upside down. I have the chance to fix it in here. So I guess I'm gonna get rid of 1/2 inch in here. Let's measure again. Measure twice, cut once. It's okay if it's upside down. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect, but if we get the chance, if we have the chance to fix it, why not? And now I'm gonna cut one piece for this and one piece for that. And I wanna do that before I glue my box because it makes it easier to put it all together. Can you decorate it after? Yeah, why not? It's okay. 3 and 6. 3 and 6. Again, let's connect those 2 dots in there. Oops. This is a very simple project, very easy to make. I did it wrong. Just when I cut it, that was the 3.5, not the 3 in here. Guess what? I'm gonna make it work. Oh yeah, why not? All right, I have another one, but I can make it work. Yep, I'm gonna just glue it right on the middle in here. And I can use something else to decorate around, and then just make it like it was intentional if I want to. So this is my top. Let's not make it worse. I'm gonna put some glue in here. And glue in here. And I'm gonna try to put it right in the middle. I'm gonna have like a 1/4 inch on the top and the bottom. Perfect. That's okay. And if you have a little extra on one side, you just have to trim it in here. Now that we decorated the sides, or the front and the back, let's fold the box in all these lines in here. It's a lot, like I say, it makes it a lot easier when we have all those indentations in there, because it just goes faster. And the one in the middle, you don't have to fold it all the way down, because that one is just to fold in, right? And then we have this one in here. Another way to do all these foldings in here is that you put the rule and then you fold against the rule, or any piece of straight, something that allows you to do that, right? You can make this fold very straight with the same plastic knife. You can just go over this, and then in that way you get a very, very kind of make this very straight. All right, so this one in here, because it's all the way long and I already cut all those little flaps, it's gonna be easier if you use your ruler, and then you can go and burn all this, make it now. To put together this box, we're gonna start with this side in here, and this side in here. For this side in here, you can use glue, you can use tape. If you only have tape, then use tape. If you have glue, one of those glues, anything you want. If you have double-faced tape, and that's what I'm gonna use, you can use double-faced tape. I'm gonna get rid of this extra piece of paper that I have in here. And I'm gonna put a little bit of double-faced tape in there. You can use the regular one also. Put it in here, make sure that it is glue in here. Let me remove the top. And I'm gonna cut a little bit on the top of this one. And in my pattern, in my template, I also have cut a little bit of that in there as well. Now we're gonna bring this one in here, line up with the top. All right, I'm using the double-faced tape so I don't have to wait for the glue to get dry. You can use a pin, you can use something just to keep it, if you're using glue, especially if you're using glue, just to make sure that it doesn't get open. I'm using that double-faced tape, so it's a lot easier. Now, before I close on the bottom, I'm gonna fold the sides out, and I'm gonna cut a little triangle, like an upside down triangle. Snip a little bit from there so you get this shape in there. Let's do it again on the other side. All right, so we have those two sides in there. Let's fold this one a little better. And now you're just gonna bring the two little ones in. If you're using glue, you can put glue in here. I'm gonna put the tape on that side also, just again because I want to make sure that I have this ready. Double-faced tape. I want to finish this. I don't want to wait for this to get dry, and I'm filming this on pretty much one shot. I don't normally like to redo or process my videos too much. Always cut a little bit here at the beginning sometimes. All right, so I just have to fold this one in. Now I'm gonna use the same plastic knife. Next time I use one that is not clear. That was the only one I had available. You use whatever you have available, or a pen or a pencil. And then you just want to make sure that those two little things in there, they're glue in there as well. I use glue for those. So I just want to tap a little bit in there and make sure that they are secure. Now your box is ready. And we just need to punch a hole in here, or put your candies, and then you can punch a hole and put the ribbon, or put your candy and use some tape and seal that. You see that even when I didn't cut this piece the full size, it doesn't matter. It looks good like that as well. So I'm gonna punch a hole in here. I have this one that makes a little, like a long one, and then I have this one that is the regular one. Let me use this one that is the regular one, and you can punch two holes. In this one I have two holes, but I'm gonna actually put only one in here. If you want to make it like, measure that and try to make it as centered as possible, much better. But for me, what I have in here is good enough. And I'm gonna get my ribbon. I put a piece of tape on the end of my ribbon so they don't, I keep them all in the row. And I'm gonna cut a piece of ribbon in there. And I'm gonna fold that ribbon. And I'm gonna bring it in. And when this loop is in, I'm gonna put the ends through the loop. And this is another way to keep these boxes together. Right? So that was a very simple one. Again, the other one, this one, is even easier than that one, because what you need to do is keep the ends straight. You can fold these tips and snip these tips in here. And then put the ribbon, and that's it. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.